Hey everybody! I've been live streaming every Saturday and Tuesday. Subscribe to check out those streams, by the way. And if you've been watching them, you know I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring Nightreign. It is a fantastic game, but I've had a pretty big problem with it. It's not an issue with the game itself, it's an issue with the players. A lot of people seem to struggle with the game, and while there's a lot of videos featuring useful secrets, I haven't seen many that cover the fundamentals. The issue is not that people don't know where the best loot is, it's that they simply don't know how to approach the game. So today, I'm going to sit down and go through what I think are some of the most important skills you need to get good at Elden Ring Nightreign. To start off, the single most important skill you need to hone is basic situational awareness. Yeah, this video is going to be a bit salty, but I'm tired of people trying to get their super epic build started, getting tunnel vision, and then ignoring everything around them. It's fine if you want to prioritize Everjails or whatever, but try this. Take a look at your map and start planning out a route. Look at your priority targets and see what is between you and the area you want to reach. Maybe you can run through a cave on the way there. Maybe there's something that will give you a weapon the Night Lord is weak to. Know what targets you need to hit, and make sure you are constantly getting items and runes on the way there. With a bad route, you can waste so much time running from place to place. You never want to be backtracking in this game. Also, another big part of situational awareness is knowing where your teammates are and where they are going. This is a team-based game, so stick with them! Now, I know some of you are going to be saying something like, "But Shadow, I'm actually a god gamer. I've no-hit every boss in Elden Ring, including the DLC, and I just have to say I am deeply offended by your insinuation that..." First of all, no. Just no. You aren't that good. Second of all, even if you were, fighting bosses solo takes a lot of time due to their inflated health bars. Even if you could do it all by yourself, you're only going to clear 2 to 3 areas in the time that a full group could easily clear 5 to 6. Again, time is everything in this game. I'm going to repeat that a lot in this video, but it's very important. Anyways, back to sticking with the group. I know it can be annoying when your team doesn't listen to you, but you have to be willing to give a little. Sure, you may not be able to optimize your build and get crazy insane damage, but you don't stand a chance without your team. It's more important to work with them than it is to make yourself strong. Stick with them, look for where they want to go, and look for items that can help them. If a teammate is in danger, go and save them. If someone lost their runes, help get them back. This game is about more than buffing yourself. You need a strong team if you want to win. The next skill you need to hone is prioritization. Obviously, you want to be getting high-level loot, but prioritization is about more than that. You don't want to rush right into the castle at level 1. You need to use that situational awareness I talked about before and determine the best choice for where you currently are, both in terms of your build and your physical location. Try and get some gear that the Night Lord is weak to early so you don't have to rush for it later. Also be sure to get flasks early as well so you don't miss out when the circle closes. If you're low on gear, look for places where you can pick some up easily. Having low level gear is better than having none at all. This ties into another important thing to keep in mind, knowing how to pick your battles. I've lost too many runs because my team just kept throwing themselves at an enemy over and over again just to waste our runes and our time. This isn't like regular Elden Ring. You can't just keep trying forever. Know when you're in over your head and leave to try something else. You can make an effort to come back later if it's still early in the game. Knowing when to leave a fight can be difficult in the heat of the moment, so here's some things that I think are good signs of when to quit. If your whole team dies and the boss is at or above half health, that's your cue to leave. Remember that bosses retain their health across nights, so feel free to finish this one off later when you're a bit stronger. Another good sign is if you find yourself heavily relying on status effects. Bleed and frost weapons are a great way to get strong loot early, but if you don't feel confident in you and your teammates' abilities, then it's a good idea to come back later. Finally, if it's just taking a long time to get the boss's health down, that's a good sign to back out. It's better to prioritize getting lots of smaller boosts to your stats than just one big upgrade. Also, from my experience, level 8 is the ideal level to be when attempting stronger bosses, the castle, or the shifting earth events. If you have a good team and you're feeling confident, feel free to try at lower levels, but level 8 is a very safe point to start attempting those more dangerous challenges. I usually find that by the end of the first night you're going to be at around level 8, and that's usually when you want to start those types of encounters anyways, but still, just something to keep in mind if you're uncertain about whether or not you can handle the challenge. The final tip is something I've talked about a little bit already, but I think it's important enough to state outright. You need to be willing to adapt. Stop trying to get your perfect build. This game has a lot of RNG, so sometimes you just need to get the best build you can. I've seen so many players making risky and dumb choices in a desperate attempt to get that one weapon they want, or that one upgrade. Sometimes you won't get that one OP weapon, or a weapon that has the Night Lord's weakness, or even a particularly good weapon. In that case, focus on doing what you can to help out your teammates and also try to clear out one of the mines. That can, at the very least, get your damage up. Another tip is that sometimes you might find a really good weapon, but its passive doesn't work with your build at all. If you have no other weapons that are good enough to compete, it's worth taking a strong weapon with a suboptimal passive just so you can keep up a good damage output. Also, consider the needs of your teammates. I mentioned this already when talking about staying with your team, but sometimes the items you need and the items your teammates need are going to be in conflict. If they need to clear an Everjail or a tower, help them. I get that players can be inconsiderate sometimes, but just make sure you're paying attention to where your allies want to go, even if it's not what has the best gear for you personally. Besides, you'll usually get at least something out of it. There's a lot more I could say, but this should be enough to get you started. I know some of this might seem obvious, but you would be amazed at how many players I've encountered who really could have used a video like this. This is the first heavily multiplayer focused Souls game by FromSoft, and it seems like players just aren't used to that style of game yet. I understand that the secrets and cool weapons are more flashy and fun to hear about, but hopefully this video can be helpful for people looking to get a start. I may do more advanced and specific tutorials down the line, maybe talk about how to play some of the characters, but I guess we'll wait and see. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.